Hello everybody, welcome to all my Thursday night people. Thursday night football is where it's at. Today we got the draw for the Europa League and the Conference League group stages. I wouldn't say there's a lot of interesting groups, but of course we're going to break it down and see how it goes down because we got to review it. We did it last season, we did the season before, we covered the Europa League and Conference League, and we're going to do it again. Which two teams are going to play in Dublin and which two teams are going to play in Athens this year. If you're watching on replay, give me your thoughts of the comments down below of your team if they are in the Europa League and Conference League. Give me your thoughts of the draw. Are you happy with it? You know, do you think you can progress out of the group? And then, of course, if you're watching right now, hit the like button. We should already be hitting 15 likes as there's already 13 of you in the house. Big up to RDS, of course, coming here. Big up to Radical. Big up to Sebastian. Big up to Matt. Big up to Ma on paras ensi viikkoon hukkajat. Big up to Rahim from Kazakhstan. Rahim, next week, it's battle. It's war. Big up Rahim. Big up to Alexander and big up to Zayn as well. So, we're going to first break down the Conference League, and then we go into the Europa League. You know, we're not going to do predictions or anything like that, but just more of an overview and our early thoughts of the groups. And big up to Giannis as well. We're going to break down Panathinaikos because I was impressed with Panathinaikos in the playoff round of the Champions League. I really thought they could have beaten Braga. Got unlucky, and they got a tough group in the Europa League. But it's going to be awesome to see what happens. And big up to Orzitis as well. And big up to Hans. And we're going to look at Leverkusen as well. But let's quickly look down at the Conference League. Everybody's favorite competition. We got an epic final last year with West Ham winning it. Will Aston Villa continue the England dominance? Or will we have a new winner from a new league? So this is Group A. We got Lille, Slovan Bratislava, Olympia Ljubljana, and Klaksvik. Shout out to Klaksvik, the first ever Faroe Island team. Yes, I said that right. Faroe Island team. The mere fact that they have made it to the group stage, and the mere fact they almost made it to the Europa League group stage, unbelievable. Unbelievable achievement by them. And to be honest, hey, they couldn't even finish second. You know? Well, I'll have to do some more research about, you know, the Slovan Bratislava and Ljubljana. But of course, you know, Lille, they should be winning this group. Hands down, easily. Lille should be making a similar run to Nice last year as the only French team. And France got to start performing in Europe, guys. This is a mere fact. When was the last time a French team won a European competition? That was Marseille. And only time I've seen finalists is Marseille in the Europa League and then PSG in the Champions League final. That's it. So we need to see Lille do well this season. And they got a good team. Of course, they have a lot of changes, but I would still expect them to do it. And then I think it will be a battle between Slovan Bratislava, Olympia Ljubljana, and Klaksvik to see who comes second. We move on to Group B, and we have another newcomer and a new country making their debut in Europe. It is Iceland with this is going to be a tough one to say. Breiðablik? I think that's how you pronounce it. Breiðablik. But shout out to the Icelandic team. First ever Iceland. See, we're going to get a lot of first-timers in the Conference League, people. We've had the first Kosovoan team. We've had the first Armenian team. We've had a first of a lot. But now it is Iceland's turn. They're in a tough group. And they're going to do a lot of traveling. How long is the flight from Israel to Iceland? That's got to be at least 10 hours. It has to be at least 8 hours or something crazy like that. Then we got Zorya Luhansk, who were in this competition last year. Maccabi Tel Aviv, who were in the first edition of the Conference League. And Ghent. So, you know, this should be a tough battle for Ghent and Maccabi Tel Aviv and Zorya Luhansk. And, Europa League, let's see what happens with them. But I think this is quite comfortable for Ghent, if I'm going to be perfectly honest here. And then Group C, we got Dinamo Zagreb, Viktoria Pilsen, Astana, and Balkani. Balkani were good last year, and that was their first ever time in Europe in the Conference League. And they were impressive. I think they beat the Sivasspor, if I'm not mistaken, last year, which was an epic game by them. Astana, which obviously is going to be difficult to travel to Kazakhstan because we know the flight there is ridiculous. And they got Viktoria Pilsen and Dinamo Zagreb. They bottled it yesterday. They had a 3-1 lead against Sparta Praha, and they bottled it. They lost in the last 5 minutes of the game. For me, I think Dinamo Zagreb, they should kind of be worried that they fall down to this competition, really. They should win this group. But we'll see with Viktoria Pilsen and Astana. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for Dinamo. Now, if you had to ask me for a group of death, I think it would be this in the Conference League, because we got Club Brugge, Bodo Glimt, Besiktas, and Lugano. This, and only one team goes directly to the round of 16. Oh, man. We all love Bodo Glimt. Besiktas is always going to be tough. And Club Brugge are improving to what they were in the later stages last season when they were under Scott Parker, which was an absolute disaster of a hiring. And Lugano, going to have to do some research on them, but I don't think they're going to be strong enough to compete with the three. If I'm going to be honest, I don't know who's going to come out of this group. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is the group of death? For Bodo, they've been doing well in Norway. I believe they're still first in Norway thus far. I think they are still first. Besiktas, we'll have to see on how they are doing with the results. And Club Brugge, they are much better to what they were last season. Obviously Club Brugge did amazing in the Champions League, make it to the round of 16, and then got walloped by Benfica. But I think they are a better team this year. I think they're a better team. So this is going to be a very tough group to predict. Very tough group to predict. And I think this is by far the group of death in the Conference League. Then we got Group B. We got AZ Alkmaar, who were semi-finalists last year. We got Aston Villa making their return to Europe. Legia Warsaw, and the first ever Bosnian team in Europe in Zrinjski. Now, I think Aston Villa are clear favorites for the Conference League. When you have Unai Emery, who has won the Europa League multiple times, managing Aston Villa, we know he's going to play his strongest team in every game. Even if they have a 6-point lead in the final day, Aston Villa and Unai Emery will play their strongest team. Legia Warsaw are also a strong team, and we know, especially at home, they're going to be very difficult to play against. Zrinjski, I think they're just here, and they're enjoying their ride, although they did make it to the Europa League playoff round, so they're not going to be easy opponents. I would say that AZ Alkmaar, they have definitely regressed in their quality, right? They sold Gerkes, Reinders, Jesper Karlsson, so this is not the same AZ Alkmaar team. They're having a transition season in a way. So on paper, you would say, okay, Aston Villa, tough group, but I think Aston Villa can get 15 points here. But for some of the players, it's going to be their first time in Europe. But for Unai Emery, it's another Thursday, and it's another chance for him to win European silverware. This guy is obsessed with winning European silverware. He's obsessed with it. Look what he did with Villarreal and countless times. Sevilla. This guy, he just knows how to do it in Europe. And I think for Aston Villa, yeah, look, it's going to be a tough group. But I would expect, with the quality they have and the signings they have made, and with Watkins and Diaby, I think Aston Villa should be making it at least the semifinals of the Conference League this year. But Legia Warsaw and AZ Alkmaar are going to make it a tough group for them. No doubt about it. Now, this could be another group of death where we have Ferencváros, Fiorentina, Genk, and Kukrački. Now, I cannot remember if it is Kukrački's first ever time in Europe. You guys gotta let me know. Fiorentina, they just sold Amrabat, but they got Lucas Beltran, and I obviously love Beltran, man. They're former River Plate striker. Now, Ferencváros have had an interesting, I would say, European campaign that they lost to freaking Klaksvik, and in embarrassing fashion, 3-0 at home. I don't know if this is the same Ferencváros as last year, where they topped their group and made it to the Europa League round of 16. I don't think it's the same team, but they can definitely be interested in this group. Genk, not too sure. Gotta look at the results and look at the team that they have and then see how they're performing. So this could be tough for Fiorentina, who obviously made it to the final last year and lost to West Ham. And especially, we got to see how they progress without Amrabat and how they transition with, a couple of new additions. But I think the best thing for Fiorentina was that they kept Nicolas Gonzalez. The guy is so crucial. He scored 2 goals yesterday against Rapid Vienna. So it's another season for Fiorentina in Europe, and they got to maybe try and do better than what they did last year. Now, if you guys don't know, I'm also a Hoiko fan, and I live here in Finland. This is going to be absolutely hell for us. This is going to be hell. So Eintracht Frankfurt, PAOK, Hoiko, and Aberdeen. Now, from my point of view as a Hoiko fan, this is basically, we're here for vibes, people. We're here for vibes. I'm going to just chill out. I'm probably going to go to the Frankfurt away game to enjoy it. Maybe have to see about PAOK because, Greece, nice weather, hostile environment. I would like to see the flares. I think for PAOK, this is going to be tough because obviously you're going to battle it out with Eintracht Frankfurt. We don't know what about Frankfurt because we don't know what they're going to do with Kolo Muani. Apparently, it's agreed that he is going to PSG, but we don't know if he's actually going to go. And then Aberdeen, look, they got past. They didn't beat Haken in the Europa League playoff, so I'm not too sure about Aberdeen. I have to do some research about them. They actually do have a Finnish player, funny enough, Richard Jensen. So, look, I'm going to go to every home game for Hoiko. Hopefully we can make it third, but it is going to be tough. And I think Eintracht Frankfurt, even though they have sold a lot of players, they made some good signings, including Pacho, the center back. Going to be a very fascinating group, but for Hoiko, yeah, we're going to get absolutely throttled in that group, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. And then the last group, we got Fenerbahce, Ludogorets, Spartak Trnava, and Nordsjælland. Now, as well with this group, you got to be worried with Nordsjælland. Now, I know they're a pot 4 team. These guys, they keep on just producing and producing ballers because of the connection they have with the Right to Dream Academy in Ghana. Fenerbahce, we know the players that they have acquired. Obviously Tadic, they got Dzeko and these guys. Ludogorets were obviously Europa League group stage last year. Spartak Trnava, I have the research about them. Look, it's going to be a tough group. Look, everybody's going to say Fenerbahce to finish top, and rightly so. But Nordsjælland these guys are a very good team. A very, very good team. They're going to battle it out with Ludogorets, I think, for second. I might even say that Nordsjælland could even try and win this group. That's how good of a team they are. Like, people, I think you got to understand. This team keep on producing ballers, and they play a very attacking football. They beat freaking Partizan 5-0. Thank you for reminding, Hans. They beat Partizan 5-0. They're destroying opponents. They obviously were in the Champions League, I believe, 8 to 9 years ago. Do you remember when Luis Adriano, the Shakhtar striker, remember he scored that goal when the whistle was blown? It was fair play thing, and he scored. That was against Nordsjælland. This is going to be a tough group for Fenerbahce. This is going to be a tough group, but I think we have... What do you guys think is the group of death in the Conference League? So obviously you have this group with the Group H with Fenerbahce. Not really that group. I think it's top heavy. You could say even Group F. To be fair, wait, is there one more group? No, that's it. Yep, that's it. That is it. Then obviously we got this group. Group D is pretty tough. This is a pretty tough group. So yeah, let me know what's your group of death in the Conference League. I probably would go with Group D. This is going to be a tough one to predict in my predictions. Oh, that is going to be a tough one to predict. Now, let's go to the Europa. Indeed. If you haven't done so, hit the like button right now, people. We are on 17 likes and 35 of you watching. Do not perform like... what would be a good... Because United now signed somebody. Probably like... Tottenham signed somebody today. Everton. Because Everton are... Yeah. If you're an Evertonian, I'm sorry. But you guys right now are... not looking great. So do not perform like Everton in the transfer window where you're signing a bunch of nobodies and you're selling Maupay for no reason, even though the guy's terrible, and you're selling Iwobi. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Spy, for reminding me about the background. We need to change the background right here, and it is the Europa. We got to get the orange and the black background. Now, Group A. This is going to be tough for West Ham. I remember I said last year Olympiacos were terrible, and I was rightly so, and I put them last in the group in the predictions. And what happened? They finished last in the group, and they were god awful. This year, it seems like there's not so much turmoil with Olympiacos, and they look like a better team. They look like they have much more structure. Remember last year, people in the playoffs round, they had like 3 different managers, 5 different managers. It was just crazy. Players going left and right, transfers in, transfers out. Now it seems Olympiacos are in a better state. Then you got Freiburg, and we know Freiburg. This team is a very difficult opponent. And I think, actually, is it TSC? Now, I don't know what the full name is. I want to get their full name. I'll be honest, I've never heard of this team. And you guys know I know football. I've never heard of TSC. Have they ever been in Europe? Wow, this is their first ever time in the European group stage, and they made it to the Europa League. Shout out to FK Futbolski Klub TSC. What does the TSC stand for, though? Or are we just going to... Baka Topola. Okay, interesting. Okay, if there's anybody who's a fan of FKTAC, shout me out in the comments or in the chat, because let me know how you're feeling playing in Europe for the first time, and you're going to West Ham, you're going to Olympiacos, and you're going to Freiburg. This is going to be awesome to watch. Okay, do we think this is straightforward for West Ham people in the chat? They made some great signings. They got Kudus, they got Ward-Prowse, they got Alvarez, so they got some good players. I would keep an eye on Olympiacos. Definitely would keep an eye on Olympiacos in this group. And were Olympiacos and Freiburg in the same group last year? I think they were in the same group last year, weren't they? And I believe Freiburg did the double over Olympiacos, so Olympiacos is going to want some revenge here. I would still put West Ham favorites. I just think they're the best team, and they have European experience. Of course, they won the Conference League last year, so they have a lot of experience in the squad. Let's see how they transition without Declan Rice. I think they're doing well so far. We know what Moyes' ball is. It's what they're going to do. I know, Brian, you could say West Ham should get 15 to 18 points, but if I'm going to be honest, it is not going to be that straightforward. I think you could, if you're a West Ham fan, by the way, I think with West Ham, you could probably get like 3 to 4 wins. This is not going to be easy. Olympiacos are better, and Freiburg are a tough opponent. Now, maybe over TSC, West Ham can easily do the double. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough, but I think the key is here, who's going to finish second between Olympiacos and Freiburg. I think that is the real thing. Let me know, guys, who's going to finish second. I think most of us would agree that West Ham are going to finish first. Who's going to finish second right here? Brighton, welcome to Europe. Welcome to Europe. You're going up against 5 Champions Leagues. 4 for Ajax and 1 for Marseille. And then you're going away to AEK Athens. And funny enough, the stadium, I think the final for the Conference League is AEK Athens Stadium. This is going to be Brighton. Hello. Oh, Europe. And we got to go to Marseille. Oh no. And we gotta go to Ajax. Oh shit. And we gotta play Athens. My God. But hey, if Brighton want to be a part of the big boys in Europe and be in the Europa League and Conference League and maybe Champions League consistently, you're going to have these groups. So you got Ansu Fati, you got Mitoma, you got all these guys. Let's see how Brighton are going to transition. Let's see how Brighton's football is going to be played in Europe. Will De Zerbi go away from that and be a bit more pragmatic, especially going away to Marseille and Ajax? For Ajax, they made a lot of signings, right? They got Chupo Akpom. It's just like, I don't really see that Ajax that I was feared of 2 years ago, with Ten Hag and all those guys. Last year was disaster with Alfred Schroeder. Absolute disaster. I think, though, Marseille are also a wild card in a sense that I don't know what to expect from Marseille. They got dumped out by Panathinaikos. They got all these players that they signed. I was like, man, Ismail Assar, India from Sheffield United. I was like, these are great signings for Marseille. They're making good progressive signings. And then they go out in the playoff round. not even the playoff round, the third qualifying round, I was like, you know what? Marseille just consistently in Europe in the last couple of seasons, other than the Europa League final, are just not performing to what they should be. And then AEK Athens, they went out obviously out to Antwerp, and they're a tough team. They obviously won the Greek Super League last year. If members, I think they did. Yes, I think AEK Athens won it last year, if I'm not mistaken. If they didn't, correct me, but I believe they did. So let's see. This is going to be very fascinating group, and I think this is easily the group of death. And Ajax are in a transition season again because they lost so many players and a lot of key players like Kudus and Timber and Alvarez. Like these guys, especially Kudus. I think Kudus is going to be a massive, massive loss. It's just a matter of how will Brighton perform with guys who have really not played European football, except for James Milner. I'm trying to think anybody else. I think he's it. And Dahoud, obviously the midfielder from Dortmund. That's pretty much it for European experience. So this is going to be a tough group. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Who do you think is going to finish first and second? Who's going to progress to the knockout rounds? Because I'm fascinated by it. Big up to Captain. As an Ajax fan, we're going to need a half a year to build a good team. Yeah, exactly. With so many new faces and a lot of faces leaving, you got to build the chemistry. And how is that chemistry going to look immediately? Because I think it starts in 3 weeks? The first game? I don't think Ajax are going to be ready for it. And it depends on who they play in that first 2 games. If they start out, let's say they go away to Marseille and then home to Brighton, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough for Ajax. And I know Marseille have not looked the greatest, I think, so far under Marcelino. They can definitely improve. They got the quality. They got to improve. Big up to Spy says Ajax lost a lot of players. The captain of Ajax did not want to stay at Ajax and left. Oh, I forgot. Klaassen left. The team morale is at all-time low, and I think they'll be in the Conference League. I honestly would not be shocked if Ajax go down to the Conference League. Ajax could easily finish third in this group. They could easily finish third. Estupinian, Danny Welbeck. Yeah, they got some experience. We have 12 new signings, all with 19 to 20 age. See, yeah, and how many of those guys have European experience as well? With a manager who's never been in Europe either. It's going to be a tough group. And I wouldn't even rule out AEK Athens. I wouldn't. Even though they lost to Antwerp, AEK Athens are a decent team. Now, I don't know many players. I know, of course, Pineda, the Mexican striker, but that's about it. So I'm going to have to do some more research about AEK Athens. Tough group. All right, let's continue, people. So Group C, we got Rangers, Real Betis, Sparta Praha, and Aris. Now, watching Rangers, they got absolutely pummeled by PSV. Like, Rangers looked like a Europa League side in that game. Once they went, even when they were so defensive, Rangers didn't look great. Real Betis, let's see. It's like Real Betis should top this group. But are they same as last year? I don't really think so either. I think they've kind of regressed just a little bit. Now, Sparta Praha I think they could finish second in this group. I was impressed by Sparta Praha, especially like the comeback victory against Dinamo Zagreb was amazing. Absolutely amazing by Sparta Praha. Aris, don't know much about them. I think they won the Cypriot League for the first time ever. So this is a great achievement for them. I still think Real Betis should finish first. And I honestly, if Rangers do not improve with their way they're playing, I could definitely see Sparta Praha finishing second. Could easily see it. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Sparta Praha, man. I look out for them. I honestly was impressed by how well they played against Dinamo. Obviously, they got the Finnish boy, Kai Kairin. And so, yeah, look. See, a lot of people are impressed by Sparta, man. Braga winning, Betis second. Even Maximus has got Sparta Praha finishing first. Yeah, Rangers, man, be careful. Be careful, Rangers. This is not going to be an easy group because Sparta Praha are a good team. But I would expect, and I think everybody agrees that Real Betis are going to win this group. I think Real Betis are going to win this group. Move on to Group D, where we got Atalanta, Sporting Clube de Portugal, and Sturm Graz and Racco. So Racco, of course, the first ever time in Europe. You got Sturm Graz, who they were in the same situation last year, and now Sporting and Atalanta. Funny enough, I think Sporting will win this group. I think there's just too many changes with Atalanta. They don't really have. They made some recruitment in the striker position, but they don't. they don't have that guy, right? Before they had Zapata and Luis Muriel, and you said, you know what, they can score for fun. It's not really that same sort of Gasperini team. I think with Sporting, I think they can win this group. I think they can. Rocco are going to make it difficult, and this is, they're Polish champions for the first time ever. I'll have to do some more research about Sturm Graz. I think this is a great opportunity for Sporting to win, and then Atalanta to finish second. Let's see what happens. Let me know your thoughts, guys. But I think for Rocco and Sturm Graz, all right, you guys are going to battle out for third place, and let's see how they perform. I don't know how good Sturm Graz are. Remember, this is where Højlund came, and then Højlund went to then Atalanta, and now he's at Manchester United. So they do a lot of good recruitment, Sturm Graz. I think Rocco are going to just make life very difficult for the top two teams. But I think Sporting will finish first in this group. I think Sporting got it. Now we go to Liverpool, who, if I'm going to be honest, it's not the easiest of groups. You got Las Glins, you got Royal Union, and we know Royal Union, they should have won the Belgian league last year if they didn't bottle it, man. They bottled it so badly. So badly. If you guys don't know, watch one of my shorts because Royal Union, man, they could have won the league. I don't know why that happened. Royal Union could have won the league for the first time in like 7 decades, I think it is. And Toulouse, who are obviously owned by Redbird Capital, and they use this data format for recruiting players on low salaries and low fees. It's not so difficult, but I expect Liverpool to at least get 15, 16 points. 100% Liverpool better be getting 15, 16 points. There is no excuses. Funny enough, we got the McAllister derby. Alexis McAllister's brother, Kevin McAllister, plays for Royal Union. He just made the transfer this summer from Argentino Juniors to Royal Union. So, got the McAllister derby. You got Toulouse, who are owned by Redbird Capital. They own a stake in Liverpool. There's a lot of things going on here. I think Liverpool should easily win this group. Easily. If we're living in a world where Liverpool finished third, there is going to be the banter will be at an all-time high. But I think this is also a good test for Liverpool because you can field a sort of weakened team, but you're going to get good opposition in Royal Union and Toulouse. Like, guys, Toulouse have won back-to-back Coupe de France. Like, these guys they almost didn't even get to play in Europe because of obviously the stipulations and the rules that if there's a team, if there's owners that own multiple teams in Europe, they're not allowed to play. But Toulouse were allowed to play. Love to see it. I think it's going to be a battle between Royal Union and Toulouse to see who finishes second. And if I'm going to slightly lean towards one team, I'm going to go with Royal Union. I think Royal Union are a very good team, obviously owned by Brighton's owner, Tony Bloom. So you see there's the connection there between these two. If you've been watching Mitoma, Adingra, these guys have come from Royal Union. They play for one season, and boom, they go to Brighton. And look what they do at Brighton. Yeah, Liverpool should be finishing second. I mean, I won't be surprised if Liverpool get demoted to the Conference League. They drew to Chelsea, which is not performing well. Well, let's be honest here. If Liverpool somehow get demoted to the Conference League, that is an all-time low. That is so embarrassing. So embarrassing. Yeah, look, I agree, Bailey. I think Royal Union, they're a very good team. These guys are no slouches, man. They did so well in the Europa League last year. They made it to the quarterfinals. Yeah, quarterfinals. So, they lost to Bayer Leverkusen in the quarterfinals. Yep. So, we go to Group F, where we have Villarreal, Stade Rennes, Maccabi Haifa, and Panathinaikos. Very even group. I think if you're Villarreal, this is a tough group. You got Stade Rennes. We know Stade Rennes and the ballers they got. Maccabi Haifa, who were obviously in the Champions League last year, lost the young boys in the qualifying round. And you got Panathinaikos. I think this is the group of life. I think any of these teams can progress. Villarreal, they always just a lot of changes. Pau Torres leaving. They made some good signings. Sorlov obviously coming into this team. Stade Rennes making always good signings. They just sold Doku, but they got Enzo Lafy. Love that signing. Enzo Lafy is a baller, man. Baller of a midfielder. And then, Panathinaikos and Maccabi Haifa. Like, if you're Villarreal and Stade Rennes, you're like, shit. We got a tough group to deal with here. This is, how we got last year? Was it the group with Feyenoord and Lazio and those guys? They all finished on 8 points. I could easily see like teams going between 10 to 6 points here. I think this is going to be a very, very even group. And It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle. So let me know your thoughts, people. Who do you think is going to finish first and second? Obviously, you immediately think, boom, Villarreal, Stade Rennais, they play La Liga, Ligue 1, they should be good. We saw last year in the Europa League, Fenerbahce won their group with Monaco in that group as well. It's not a given, man. It's not a given with Maccabi Haifa and Panathinaikos. So let us see what happens. Let us see what happens. Big up to Alexander says, Stade Rennais will finish first because the talent they have, but I'm worried for Villarreal, Panathinaikos, and Maccabi Haifa could take advantage. Agreed. I think Villarreal got to be careful. You know, Kike Setien doesn't have the greatest record in Europe. Remember, they lost to Anderlecht last year, Villarreal, in the Conference League. And that's a Belgian team. And you're going up against Panathinaikos and Maccabi Haifa. This is going to be fascinating group. Fascinating. I mean, Orsetis already has his prediction with Villarreal, Stade Rennais, Panathinaikos, and Maccabi Haifa. Honestly, Panathinaikos did qualify over Marseille, so everything's possible. Agreed. Everything's possible with this group, especially. Yeah, this is definitely the group of life. This is going to be a tough one to predict. I don't know. I actually have no clue what I'm going to predict for this group. Go on to Group G. This should be light work for AS Roma. I think Jose will be very happy as he tries to win another European trophy. Lega Slava Praha, Sheriff are not the same team, and Servet. I cannot remember the last time Servet were in the Europe. When was the last time Servet were in the Europe? Let me check. It's been a while. I have not seen Servet in a European competition for a long, long time. Let me quickly check here, people. When was the last time Servet were in a group stage in Europe? Because they were not last year. No. They were in the Europa League. Actually, it's not even like the group stage, but it was when it was knockout form in 2002. That's when they made it to round 4 and lost to Valencia in 2002. Since then, they have been only in qualifying rounds. So this is actually a great achievement for Servet, but even though I know people are saying AS Roma look awful, trust me, they look terrible. But they can rectify it tonight, maybe with Lukaku's debut against AC Milan, which should be a great matchup. Slavia Praha, got to do some more research on them. You know, Czech teams have been doing well recently in Europe, and there are no slouches. Sheriff are not the same team, guys. They struggled against Klaksvik. It was only 3-2 on aggregate. So this is not the same Sheriff team that, you know, surprised us all and beat Real Madrid and did so well. This is not that same team. I think AS Roma will get 15 points here. But the one thing that AS Roma have not been good at recently in the last couple of seasons is their European away record is not good. It is not good at all. Now, I know people are saying, oh, Servette are also underrated. I'll have to see, man. I'll have to look at some research. But if I'm going to be honest, this should be AS Roma and then everybody else battling for second. I don't see AS Roma finishing second like they have in the last couple of seasons. And then we got the Nordic derby in Group H. We got Bayer Leverkusen, Karabakh, Molde, and BK Häcken. Now, Bayer Leverkusen will get 15 to 16 points here. They could probably win this group by match day 4. They're going to absolutely destroy it. Karabakh, I did see the highlights against my team, Hoiko, because they played against each other in the Europa League. Wasn't so impressed, but I think they are better to what they were last year when I saw them play as well. Molde, I think Molde can finish second. If you watch that Molde and Galatasaray game, you're saying, damn, Molde are actually a decent team, even though, oh my god, I cannot remember the player that just went to Ajax. Oh, Ajax fans, which player did you just sign from Molde? Because one of the attacking midfielders went to Ajax, so that's going to be somewhat of a loss. I cannot remember the name. Oh, what was the name? But they are still a damn good team, Molde. Even last year in the Conference League, they played great. Monsferk. Thank you, Kong. Monsferk. That was the guy who went to Ajax. Man's got a... I like the AVI. And Häcken, you know, I think it's their first ever time in Europe. See, this is easy group for Leverkusen, man. This is an easy group. Boniface might actually score 8 goals in this group. He might score 8 goals. And then this is the battle of second place between Karabakh, Molde, and Häcken. And I'm going to lean easily towards Molde for now. But we'll see what happens in this situation. By the time, it's not to the round of 16, the second place. The second place go to the knockout playoff round. I can just show you here. Yeah, look, they go to the knockout playoff round. Remember? I don't know what's going to happen next year when there's more teams in the competition and how that's going to work. It's going to look so weird. I kind of like it and don't like it that they're expanding competitions. I don't like it. Big up the Spy says, you're a Karabakh fan. Shout out to you. I'm currently going through depression. The group is actually really hard. Hey man, Spy, at least you could probably just drop down to the Conference League. So it's not all lost. But if I'm going to be honest, Karabakh were not great against Hoiko. And Hoiko are shit this year. I'll be honest. Hoiko are shit. Yeah, Klaksvik beat Haken just to play at a low. That's actually true, you know, Hugh. That's true. How did Klaksvik beat Haken and then Klaksvik are in the Conference League and Haken? Yeah, that's great. Football is a funny sport, people. Football is a funny sport. But I want to know your thoughts. What is the group of death here in the Europa League? And what's the group of life? I would probably go for the group of death. I would probably go with either group A or B. I think it's one of these groups. Actually, to be honest, I think this is the group of life and group of death is group B. I think any of these teams can advance. Generally, I think people are going to underestimate AEK Athens. And I think they can definitely... This is the group of death. This is the group of death. The football is going to be wonderful to watch as well. I'm intrigued to see how Brighton are going to play away. As you guys can know from my tweets and everything, I just love the way Brighton are run as a football club. And I love the football they play. It's just a matter of how do you deal with a hostile environment of Marseille, Ajax, and AEK Athens. It's not just Marseille's a hostile environment. Ajax as well. And then you got to go away to Athens and their new stadium. Woo! It's not going to be good. Matt is saying Group D is trash. Atalanta Sporting are good teams, but yeah, Sturm Graz and Racco, they're not really that quality. Not really that quality. Will Brighton fall off eventually like Southampton? Time will tell, Terry. Time will tell. But if they're getting guys like Ansu Fati, I think, Brighton are here to stay. They're here to stay. Let me know your thoughts as well, guys, in the chat. And if you're watching our replay, who's your favorites for the Europa League? I think everybody should be picking Liverpool. Obviously, if Sevilla drop down, then everybody is Sevilla is going to win the competition. But right now, who do you think is the favorites? We got a Rocco fan in the house. Shout out to Matti. I wanted to meet again with Karabakh. You're a Rocco fan. Shout out to you, Matti. Hopefully you get to go to some home games because that is awesome that you get to go see Atalanta and Sporting, man. Shout out to Rocco, man. First ever time in Europe and first ever time Polish champions last season. So Giannis is going. Liverpool and Sevilla can soon come. I swear to God, guys. Sevilla are going to drop down. These guys are going to drop down. I know it already. You can book it right here. The final of the Europa League in Dublin should be, and I say should be, Sevilla versus Liverpool. A rematch of 2016 when Sevilla came back and won the game 3-1 in the second half. And that's what it should be. Casey, Villarreal are not doing anything. Casey, Kike Setien is the manager. You know, as a Barca fan, what Kike Setien does in Europe. Villarreal lost to Anderlecht last year. They're good. Like, Villarreal plays some very good football. Granted, if I'm being honest, I don't know how they didn't win that game against Barcelona because the chances they created in the first 15 minutes, I'm like, they should have been 2-3-0 up. But I think this is the top three. This is the top three. It's Liverpool, Roma, Leverkusen. Just because of Jose and because Leverkusen are actually a very, very good team. I'm not impressed by Ajax or Marseille. But imagine if we get a Liverpool-Leverkusen final, people. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. And then what do you guys think for the Conference League? Who should win it? I think it should be Aston Villa or Fiorentina. I think those are the two favorites. We'll have to see who comes down from this competition. But yeah, look, it's another season of Thursday Night Football. We absolutely love Thursday Night Football. We'll obviously be here all season. Casey, I know you want to say Roma aren't doing anything, but until Jose doesn't make a final, then I'm not saying nothing, right? I'm not saying nothing. Big up to Matty. Unlucky Rocco can't play in their home stadium. Damn. But if city government doesn't care, unlucky now I have to drive to... You gotta drive an hour 15? Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, Matty. You gotta do that, bro. You're going to... Wait, where is Rocco going to play, actually? Matty, where are you guys playing then, your games? Because obviously I can't check here because they don't have the schedule yet. So where is Rocco going to play their home games? Because they're not playing at the Mijewski Stadion Pirkarski Rocco Stadium. It only fits 5,000 people, so it's going to be tough then. Where are you guys going to play your home game? Astana, Rahim, then we're all smoking weed then at that point. Aston Villa by far easy. Yeah, look, Aston Villa are easily going to be favorites. Not gonna lie, I think the winner of the Europa League is going to be someone from PSG's UCL group. That's a good point, you know. We could either get one of Dortmund, Newcastle, or PSG Milan in the Europa League. It's a nearby city called Sosmek. I am sorry, bro. Hey, man. I got Polish heritage, but Polish language is hard, just like the Finnish language. So what stadium is this? Who's this home to? Nope, that's not the stadium. See, guys, this is why I love the conferencing in Europa League. You just find some crazy stadiums. Look where Klaksvik are playing, guys. Look where Klaksvik are playing. This is home to Zalgielby Sosnek. It's only 7,000 people. Not gonna be down. PSG. Hey, big up, yes, Michael, watching your birthday before I go out and celebrate. Happy birthday, Elias. Happy birthday. You've been a long time subscriber to the channel. Big up, Elias. Hopefully you're doing well. Let's just drop a wonderful video of Padju's heaven. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, Elias. Have a good birthday, bro. Hopefully you have a good birthday. Happy 23. Happy 23. Poland, Finland, USA. Michael ignored his goalkeeper heritage. Yeah, I'm never going to be a goalkeeper. If anybody aspires to be a goalkeeper at 7, 8 years old, this is the wrong sport. Play volleyball. Play handball then. For who I care. Play handball. Mike, you got to come to Kazakhstan. I can't. Rahim, I wish I could come to Kazakhstan to watch the Finland game. Do you know how much the flight tickets are? I mean, if you want to pay for it, bro, I'll happily come. But unfortunately, the flight tickets to Kazakhstan, because, you know, the airspace between Finland and Kazakhstan, obviously Russia, is closed. So you got to go all the way down and then across. It's crazy right now. Luis is putting money on Brighton to win the Europa League. Guys, do we think Brighton can go far? Do we think Brighton can go far in the Europa League? I think for them, look, did De Zerbi manage any games in Europe? I know he didn't qualify with Sassuolo to the Europa League, but did he manage any games with Shakhtar in the Champions League? Let me quickly check here. Did he? See, yeah, I don't think he did. You guys got to remind me. I don't think De Zerbi really... He might have done the 21-22 season. But they made the semifinals of the FA Cup, though. He made the semifinals. I think they lack experience. Agreed. Ansu gonna lead them to... Hey, man. If Ansu Fati somehow rectifies his career and helps lead Brighton to European glory, then the career is back. The career is back. No, Brighton doesn't have the know-how yet. I agree. I don't think Brighton have that experience, but they could do well. And Besiktas for conference, Marseille, Europa, AC Milan, UCL, 1% chance, 99% faith. He lost in the qualifiers. Okay, thank you, Zahir. Thank you, Zahir. Shout out, Zahir. How you doing, bro? Anthony says, I'm from Romania. I'm sad the Romanian team lost. Sorry, Anthony. Your loss might gain because my Finnish team at least qualified over Farul. But the downfall of Romanian football, this is staggering. Staggering how far Romanian football has fallen. It's bad, man. It's so bad. But yeah, let's see. Michael, if PSG somehow drop to the Europa League and not win the Europa League, they should actually disband the club. If they don't do it, yeah, don't worry. Don't worry, Mike. Finland is getting smoked. Rahim, I better hear this chat next week. It's going to be a tough game, though, between Finland and Kazakhstan, if I'm going to be honest. It's going to be a tough game. Farouk Constanta, who? Well, who indeed. But, guys, if you haven't done so already, smash the like button. We got 45 of you watching. We only got 30 likes. You guys are performing like... You might be performing like Romanian clubs. Sorry, man. Sorry to the Anthony Bezeras. You guys are performing like Romanian clubs right now. It's not good. Hit the like button. The stadium you checked is the old one. Okay, so it's a new stadium. Gotcha. Yep. LDU Quito. Are you from Ecuador? Bro? Yeah, Quito made it to the Copa Sudamerica semifinals. At least they played Defensa Justica, so that's a good thing. The tickets are for what, Ian? What are the tickets? 350 euros for what? They did. True, but Casey, at least they won. They somehow won it still. They somehow won it. I gotta remember who their path was to winning that competition, but the mere fact that they won a freaking Champions League is insane. It's gonna be lit. Zahir, I'm putting my money on Amorim to win it. Gasperini the stock has fallen, right? It's slowly falling. It's not a staggering drop off, but it's slowly, like, the Gasperini hype, man, it's falling away. Oh, it's only 350 euros. That's not too bad. Is it round trip or is it one way, Ian? That's the thing. 600 million. Fucking hell, bro, man. These they got some money. They got some money. Money. Look, I don't think it's gonna happen. But if Salah does leave tonight, that is, I really don't think it's gonna happen though. I'd honestly be shocked. Because Liverpool have rejected already 150 million. Like, if Saudi come in again with 200 million, like, I'm serious. Although they did come out, so Al Ittihad are not prepared to give 200 million to sign Mohamed Salah. Man, I guarantee you, if FSG sell these guys, oh boy, I don't think they would. I mean, Liverpool fans, would you accept 200? It's 200 million pounds. Like, these guys are gonna. I don't want to get into much transfer chat. We might come back later tonight, people, by the way, for the transfer deadline, because at least it's on a Friday night, so I can actually be live. We'll probably be live maybe for the last hour and a half of the transfer window, kind of looking at all the transfers and all that sort of stuff. But, yeah, look, there's going to be a lot of clubs still doing deals. And, I mean, Palhinha still hasn't signed for Bayern. Like, Bayern got to get that midfielder. They got to get him. If they can get Palhinha, Bayern are automatically the second favorites for the UCL. They're automatically. He will be. Salah is 31 right now. We'll see, Terry. I'm not trusting Egypt. Favorite matchup in the UEFA competition. So, favorite matchup. I'd have to honestly say it's Milan and PSG. I think just because Donnarumma is going back to Milan, the guy is going to get absolutely... Like, I don't condone abusing, but he's going to get abused. Like, they're going to throw all the fake money at him, probably with his face on it. Another good matchup, I would probably say, would be Ajax and Brighton. I really like that matchup. I'm trying to think. Club Brugge against Bodo Glimt. I think that's going to be a good matchup. Yeah, see, look. I think also Napoli, Real Madrid. That's going to be good. It's going to be tough for Astana, if I'm going to be honest, Altin. I think it's going to be tough for Astana. They got a tough group. They really got a tough group. Balkan teams used to be good. Red Star won a Champions League right in the midst of, was it 92? Or yeah, I think it was 92 or 91 when Red Star won it. I mean, that team was ridiculous though, KC. They had absolute ballers in that team. Absolute ballers. Yeah, I think a lot of people are liking the Real Madrid Napoli. He is not going to... He is going back to hell. He's going back to hell. Ajax versus Brighton will be good football, hopefully. Hopefully it will be. I mean, look... This is not really the same Ajax that we're accustomed to, where it's beautiful football. They got wonderful young talent. It's not that same team, people. At least, you know what? The best thing for Ajax is they got rid of Sanchez, the right back. If you're a Porto fan, by the way, do not be excited by Sanchez being signed. The guy is terrible. He's terrible. Big up to Nicola, says, TSC played decent football in the Serbian Superliga. They got draws and sometimes win against Crvena Zvezda and Partizan. Wow, okay. I'll have to read into it more, Nicola. If they're playing good football, man, that group is even more crap. Even more intense. You already got West Ham, Olympiacos, and Freiburg, and then you're putting in a decent, good football team from Serbia. It's tough, though, man. It's tough. Then you see, oh, God. Luis, keep it a dream, bro. We don't need to speak it into reality, because if somehow Kvara goes to Man City next summer, yeah, everybody's screwed. Medical finished with Bayern and is getting ready to sign the contract in 5 years, is what Fabrizio said. Okay, was that the newest one or the latest one? Let me see. It might be the one. So we've already done the reaction to the draws, people. I don't think Fabrizio has said anything new, to be honest. Sevilla tried to sign. Yep. Why would... Victor Nelson is a smart man. He knows that Actually, to be fair, Victor Nelson, you could win a Europa League with Sevilla. At current conditions, Atletico... Why are Atleti trying to bid for Pierre Højbjerg? Why? That makes no sense. Absolutely no sense to me. Why would Atleti go for him? Why? Bellini is waiting for the green light. Yeah, I did see that. So, the issue with Serbian teams is the insane home advantage they have. Insane home advantage. And, hey, look... Casey, we'll have to see how Red Star do in the Champions League. Obviously, they got a tough group, but hey, they can always impress. They can always impress. I mean, Terry, it's a terrible deal. I don't know what's gonna happen there. Yeah, I've already went through it. I've already went it through it radical. That was the first. We went through that first one. Have you seen the Forest Friday friend? These guys, man. That owner, bro. That owner he's a. You know he's gotten into some drug problems in Greece, by the way. Watch. He's gotten into some problems in Greece. It's craziness. It's craziness. And Milan have made some good moves. Yeah, Milan have made some good moves. But people, that is the reaction for the Europa League and the Conference League. Of course, we're going to get the predictions out in about maybe a week and a half out for the group stages of both competitions and the Champions League. So stay tuned for that on the channel. We'll probably be back later tonight for, a live coverage of the transfer deadline. Unless, I just want to chill out because we kind of want to do that as well as human beings. But tomorrow, I'm going to try and get out a video for the international football people. We got the Euro qualifiers. We got the AFCON qualifiers back. So stay tuned for that on the channel. I got a good guest coming on. We're going to chop it up and discuss everything international football. And then as well, we might have a watch along for the Brighton Newcastle game. So stay tuned for that. No watch along tonight for AS Roma Milan. I got too much stuff going on. But everybody, I will see you guys all later. Wait, Kasper Terho going to Anfield. Yeah, kyllä, mä oon paras. Mä oon nähnyt sitä, joo. Aika hyvä Terholle. Jos Terho tehdä maali vittu Liverpool vastaan. Se olisi ihan sekaisin. Spy, this is stupid. Why? I mean, all Barca fans are happy, but I mean, Lenglet to Aston. Come on, Unai. You can do better, bro. You can definitely do better. But everybody, have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. Remember to hit the like button. Let's get up to 50 likes. Subscribe if you are new around here. Have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. And adios to my Thursday night people. Adios. Wait.